All right, welcome everybody. Today we have one of the developers on Tormented Souls, Max. You prefer Max or Maxi? What do you prefer?
Where Maxi called me most of my friends, so let's go with Maxi. Hi
Okay.
everyone.
All right, Maxi, welcome. I appreciate you taking time to, I know you guys have a busy schedule with the release and everything, and you guys just surprised everybody releasing it on Xbox as well. So that was cool.
We were as surprised as you.
Yo, really? What? I mean, because last time we spoke, at least in the chat, you told me that there was still some developmental, I guess, issues or tweaks that you needed to make to get it to run on the Xbox version. Was that?
No, actually it was the version that I was talking about was the Xbox One. Xbox Series X was kind of ready, but there's some time between the approval of the game and the actual publishing on the platform. So that's
Okay.
what
So
can delay a little bit the things.
so it was mostly the getting the licensing for publishing and all that. It wasn't so much that you had to actually do more development on it.
Yeah, but we started right away working on a patch, and I think it's already up. So if anyone got the Xbox Series version, they can download the patch already.
Okay. Okay. So one of the things that you mentioned before in the chat, but I wanted to kind of get a little bit more information on this. You mentioned it was originally a mobile game. How?
Yeah, there actually there is some footage. I could look around. Let me see. Yeah, it started like a mobile game because the twins, Gabriel and Herman, wanted to make a mobile game since they were just amateur developers and were starting, and they thought that would be easier. So that were the first tests. Actually, that's how we meet them in a local meeting for game developers.
Huh?
They showed us that prototype there.
How?
I don't know if I can find it.
How far in development was the mobile version?
Not too far. It's maybe kind of the size of the demo. I don't really remember that well.
Okay.
Maybe smaller, but there were plenty of scenarios, and there were some of the initial puzzles, like the one with the generator.
Okay. So you had the. Okay. Sorry. There's two generators in this game. So I just yeah.
The one with the gas.
Right.
Puzzle.
Yeah, I had a brain fart for a second thinking that it was the second generator. I was like, oh, you guys switched it. There's a lot of different ideas in this game that I don't know if that was because of the way that you guys were planning it, and then maybe you just changed things up. Like, there's a lot of elements as far as like ghost stuff going on, like the pictures falling off the walls and the dolls moving. Is that because you guys changed ideas as you developed, or is that just you wanted to just kind of make it creepier?
Actually, they were put later in the game, really late.
Okay.
Because the mansion felt scary, but we wanted some more bizarre stuff.
Okay.
So the twins wanted to add some scare jumps, not too much because we didn't wanted to rely on that, but we wanted some events that will put an alert to the player.
Uh-huh. And how many, I guess, out of all the like the jump scares and stuff like that, what were the ideas behind it? So you mentioned that the twins wanted it to be a little bit scarier, but was there an idea at one point to do like you know, instead of normal enemies like this, like more paranormal stuff?
Actually, I don't know.
You don't know?
Because
Okay.
I wasn't part of that process. They just started putting them there, and I don't know completely the lore of the game, so I don't know if they're
Okay.
related to that. So I couldn't answer that question.
Okay, that's fair. Because there's a lot of questions that I have as far as like the lore goes too. Because there's some stuff that's not really explained. Like, why is it that Caroline's able to go back in time in the picture in the video cassettes? You know, like or why is she able to go through the mirror into what I call the mirror world? You know, like that kind of stuff is not really explained. Hopefully, if you guys do a sequel to it, maybe we get a little bit more info for that kind of stuff. I think that that's
Sure, maybe. Yeah, I don't know well, actually, the mirror stuff was made before the lore was written, I think.
okay.
The twins always had the vision in their heads, but they weren't that good putting in on paper.
Okay.
So they're the ones that handle the lore and all that stuff. So as I said before, I don't know completely the lore of the game.
Right.
So I'm not sure how or if they want to explain that. Maybe they want to keep it a mystery and leave it that way.
Yeah, I mean, let me put it to you this way. I mean, if you want to take a comparison to this game and like say the first Resident Evil game, right? First Resident Evil game, it had lore, but it wasn't the best as far as, you know, the way that they told it. And the lore just got better as they released more games. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we do get a sequel to this, because so far everybody that I've talked to and everybody who's played the game in my chat and everybody else, they absolutely love this game. And I mean, that's got to be exciting for you guys, right? Like, I can only imagine.
Yeah, we were really surprised for the reception of the game. We knew that it was fun to play and entertaining, but we weren't prepared for the reception that it had. That it's been so positive. And actually, when people started to speedrun the game or doing more in-depth analysis, we started to realize how far was going. And we were surprised that there's a couple of videos, like 20 or 30 minutes, that explain the lore of the game. And actually, I learned some stuff from there. And there's even some complaints, actually not complaints, requests that some dates don't align too well in the lore of the game, so they're asking us to fix that. So the
Really?
twins are really so the twins are starting to get everything together so they fix the dates that they switch a little. They want to fix that so the community is happy.
So they're thinking of even putting out a patch to adjust the game or to make it match up a little bit better, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we're actually, every day we're fixing stuff about everything, graphics, music, the enemies, the lore of the game, the languages, which people, when they play in their languages, they told us that there's some typo or there's some word that doesn't match. So we're trying to fix every little detail, but since we're a small team and there's so many bugs, we have to be picky about what we choose. More now that we're finishing the ports for the other platforms.
Right. Well, I mean, you keep saying a small team, but you guys did a phenomenal job with this. I've heard so many things. I'm not saying I don't believe you.
We were never more than, I think, 15 people was the max staff that were working at the same time. Currently, I think we're like 6.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying I don't believe you. It's just, I've heard so many different things that people have been saying about this game. Like, I've heard people say that they didn't even realize how much they missed survival horror until they played this game.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that is a big deal. I mean, because you think about it, and you've heard me mention it in my live streams before. It's like, you have games like Resident Evil Village that just released, right? I don't consider Resident Evil Village to be a survival horror game because it's more action based. It's not like this where you have a limited inventory, limited ammo, and limited health and all that. Enemies don't drop items, and that's what a survival horror game to me is. Because when you have a game that they just give you everything, they give you all the resources, it's just it loses what it used to be. And
It doesn't feel so survival.
yeah, it's not survival anymore. It's just an action horror title. And the people that are saying that they didn't realize how much they missed survival horror. I mean, I play old school Resident Evil games like on a monthly basis, but I didn't realize that there could still be a place for it on a new game, right? I mean, I think that's what a lot of people have been missing, is that they want a game like this, for new consoles and everything, that we can play on our current hardware. And you guys nailed it with this, man.
Thank you.
Like,
Well, every company has to evolve over time. Sadly, we rely mostly on investors, and companies have to keep investors happy.
Yeah.
So new games have to evolve because they tend to fall into repetitive stuff, and as people start complaining, then if they evolve too much, people say it's not the same game.
Right.
If they evolve too little, they say the game is the same that the last year. It kind of like the thing that happened to Call of Duty every year.
Right. Exactly.
But I don't blame the companies for having to expand their audience to keep the franchises
Right.
alive. Because if not, they couldn't do the games that they want. Maybe they saw that the survival horror scheme, the classic survival horror scheme, wasn't working anymore, or didn't make them the numbers. So that's why they stopped doing them. But for us, those numbers are good. We don't need multi-millionaire budgets to do the game, so the earnings that we get from these games are enough for an indie company. But even if they did the best classic game, survival horror, with the AAA budget, normal people, or what's the word? Like common people, not niche people.
Okay.
That like these games wouldn't buy the game, and maybe they will go bankrupt on that try. So they can't risk that.
That is true. I mean, there is truth to that. There's a lot of speculation as to why this type of survival horror it died out. I mean, some people say that there was fatigue, that there were too many, because we had Resident Evil 1 and 2. They released, I think, within 2 years of each other. The first one was in 96, the second one was in 98. But then in 99 we had Resident Evil 3, and then in 2000 we had Code Veronica. And you also had the Silent Hill games that released in between of those, and Dino Crisis. So all these games were the same style, the third-person perspective, fixed camera angles. So people figured it was fatigue. Everybody was kind of getting tired of it. But since we haven't had these types of games in a long time, and you guys finally brought it back, I think that led to why people just gravitated to this game as much as we have. I mean,
I think that we did it in the just in time. Kinda what happened. I'm gonna refer to Call of Duty again.
Yeah.
There was a time like in mid 20 2006 or 2007, there it was filled with World War II games. We
Right.
had Medal of Honor, we got Call of Duty, we got I don't know, lots of other games, and people started with every game. They were selling less and less, so they had to change the to Modern War or to Future Wars. But after a few years, they went back to World War II again, and it was a hit because everyone wanted a remake of those games, or a game of with that theme, but with better graphics.
Right. And yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see why. I mean, when you get, it's like, I related to like sports games, right? So like they release a new Madden, but it's the same game as it was last year, and that was the same game as the year before. It's always the same game with just like a new roster, right? So there, if you don't change it, people kind of get tired of it. So yeah, I agree. I agree entirely. This is just, I don't think you guys could have timed this any better, to be honest with you. Because right now is like a renaissance for horror games. I don't know if you've noticed that. You know, you have like the new Resident Evil game, right? So Resident Evil, I think it honestly started with like Resident Evil 7, which it kind of brought it back to like the horror aspect. And you had the PT demo, which everybody was excited for, new Silent Hill, and then that got canceled. You know, so I think it was just perfect timing for you guys to release this kind of game. And I think that's just driving it, you know, everybody towards this. Do you guys have any idea as far as how many sales you guys have done so far, or that's not something that you know yet?
Ooh, I don't know if I comment on that.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
comment on that.
Okay.
I just will say that we're doing pretty good, and that we surpass the expectations of our publisher.
Okay.
So we're going good. We're doing good with the game, with the sales.
Well, good. Tell them to greenlight a sequel.
I don't know if people start asking, maybe.
we want it. We want it. We can't comment on the. Hey, Sven. Sven says we can't comment. Oh, you know, something I wish that we got an explanation for. And again, I know that you're not so much into the lore for it. Why does she die in the darkness? I don't understand why she dies in the darkness. Do you know why she dies in dark?
I don't know what exactly happens to her. We wanted to have a mechanic that made her feel in danger all the time.
Okay.
And we also got the lighter mechanics, so she got to enter on that darkness. But to have that effect that she was in danger, we needed something in the dark that took her, or that killed her. So the twins came out with the mechanic that if you stay longer in the dark, something will come at you.
Okay. Well, I mean, I personally, just because of lore reasons, I would have loved to have figured out why it is that she dies in the dark, you know? Again, maybe something for a sequel. Censorship hammer?
Yeah, sure. I was lucky to think that it was the ghost that chased you in the dark, but it didn't reveal until later.
Right. I mean, if anybody hasn't beaten this game by now, I mean that.
Sorry.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, let's talk about game length, because you mentioned that originally the game length, you guys were thinking like 9 hours. And, I mean, that's typically what a Resident Evil game or a game this style would be.
We were thinking of 3 hours.
Oh, you were thinking of 3 hours? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess then you hit you got the nail on the head with 3 hours then, because the game, I mean, you could run through this in one sitting, which is a good thing. I don't see that as a bad thing. That's a good thing. Because then you get to kind of just chill while you're playing the game, and then, replay it over and over as much as you want. Which I'm glad that you guys have multiple endings. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, I also like the short games, not more like 20 hours, because when you grow up, time is short.
Yeah.
You don't have as much time to play games, and I like mostly the story on the games.
Okay.
So if you can pack a story on 10 to 12 hours, I will gladly play that game. I missed the point where I was saying. The game was going to take kind of 3 hours. We from the start we said we are a small team. If we can make a game that took 3 hours to the player, I think that we were gonna be good. But we didn't count at the start that the people was going to take that much time solving some puzzles. Actually, when we first got the demo and we saw that that people that played took an hour to pass it, we realized that the game wasn't going to last 3 hours.
Oh, like getting out of the room in the beginning, right?
Yeah. No, the whole demo, get into the hall, but actually get into the corridor. Escaping the bathroom at first took like 40 minutes to to the first testers. We
Right.
had to polish that a lot because it was the first puzzle, and we didn't want the people to get stuck that much, to get frustrated and stop playing it.
Well, it's okay. So for me on that first puzzle, the only reason why I got stuck on it was because I didn't know that I could move the cursor with the analog stick. Because I'm so used to, in these games that when you open up the menu, you're stuck on the menu, right? I didn't know that I could move the cursor out of the menu. So I didn't. As soon as I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, I can do this then. And
the game was first designed for mouse and keyboard. I think that's for a given. Anyone who has played the game. In terms of for experience for the players, we translated it to the controller, but sure, as you say, we never explained that you can use some buttons. I don't know if you know that with RB and LB you can switch quickly the buttons in the menu.
oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
You can with the D-pad you can move through the slots, and that's stuff that we never explained because we weren't focused on the tutorials. We have now some kind of tutorials that we like to put in the game because there were important mechanics like the dodge in the X-ray room.
Right.
When you get the clipboard,
Yeah.
because that wasn't a thing that people was going to figure out on their own. We added a movement sheet also at the beginning of the game for people that didn't realize that we had tank controls and the modern control scheme, and also the reload, and I think I'm forgetting the map. I don't know if you noticed that the map now can be opened with one button.
No, I didn't notice it. Which button?
R3.
Oh.
L.
Oh, and you guys updated the map too.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't read patch notes. I just play the game.
And yeah, we put out some feedback for the people. They were telling us that since the cameras are all around and sometimes you don't know which way are you looking, they had problems with the map, so we enlightened some part of the maps, so from request,
Right.
so they knew where were they. We were going to put a pin exactly where you were, but we thought that will be too easy. We wanted to still be a challenge to see the map, and mini tutorial. Can you put out the map again?
You want me to pull out the map? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Put out the map and turn it around.
Oh! I don't turn the map around, so I didn't even see that. That's clever.
That's a new
Oh,
thing when we added the. That's new. It's from when we added the one key button map.
right, right. See, I was when I heard that you guys were mapping the map to one button. I'm here pushing like every button, but not thinking to push down on R3. Cause like I play with a controller. For me, cause you mentioned that you designed this game, or you guys designed this game to play on a keyboard and mouse. For me, it feels more natural to play on a controller than keyboard and mouse. Just again because I've grown up playing these type of games, and so you know I played them on my PlayStation. You know, so it just feels natural to play them like that. So yeah, it just I didn't realize that you guys actually mapped the buttons like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we took when we passed to joystick, we updated the move mechanics were made specifically for joystick. The model control scheme to replicate kind of the style of the thumb movements. We took as a reference, I think Resident Evil Code Veronica. I think I don't remember quite well.
For the camera,
it was one of the GameCube.
For the camera.
No, for the movement with the analog stick.
Oh, that was Resident Evil 0, where they started doing the analog stick like that.
Okay, maybe it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, because Code Veronica, well, I mean, Code Veronica was originally released on the Dreamcast, so they did use the analog stick. But as far as the modern controls with the camera, where the camera moves with you and like having the analog stick like be the way that it is, that they started doing that I think in Resident Evil 0. But I've never, like, even now I still play with the D-pad on this game because I can't I can't use the analog stick. It's just my way of playing it, you know? Just I grew up like this. I can't change it. You know, even
the twins are also pretty old school in that game, in that way, so they wanted the tank controls, yes or yes.
But again, I mean, tank controls for this style of game are perfect. You know, like you can't. If this was an over the shoulder game, it would still work. But I think it wouldn't feel as creepy. And you guys did a fantastic job with the atmosphere on that. You know, like.
Thank you.
Speaking of, let's talk about the atmosphere of this game, because I keep getting asked this. Is this a hospital? Is it a mansion? I keep telling them it's both, but people don't seem to believe me. What is this? Is it a mansion?
Yeah, according to the lore, I think it started like a mansion, and I think there was like a catastrophe on the town nearby. So the owner of the mansion offered the mansion as a replacement for the hospital. So they adapted it.
Okay. I see anime fan in my chat saying he's gonna play this with analog sticks. You're a traitor.
I prefer the analog too.
You're my generation of gaming. Stop it.
I don't know. I just prefer it.
Oh. So what, as far as what you worked on specifically in this game, because you told me that you're not part of the lore aspects of this. What was it that you were in charge of?
Actually, lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Let's
okay.
see. Yeah, I was mainly in charge of the developments of the implementations of some puzzles.
Okay.
And the twins every day came out saying, "Look, Maxi, we want this idea for a puzzle. I don't know, the monkey puzzle, for example. We wanted we are going to have a podium. You got to rotate the barrel, so and then smash the hammer, etc., etc. So I was in charge of take the idea, see how was going to how to put it in the game, and actually do it with lots of puzzles. That was one of my major tasks on the game. But I also took lots of other mini tasks. Like I helped polishing the design of the puzzles. For example, the best example is the bathroom. That, as I told you before, the bathroom took like between 20 and 40 minutes for the first iteration to get out of the bathroom. That was too much. So we took some good design practices, like enlightening objects, putting light of them, showing movements, etc., etc., etc. So I think I haven't seen anyone to get stuck on the bathroom more than 10 minutes, including the cutscenes and the reading of the diary. So that was another of my tasks to help polishing the puzzles. Also, well, we got the publisher. I was in charge of the most. I was present, I think, in all or like 99% of the meetings, because I help with all the coordination between them. So we see the dates, what we're doing, if there's any port close, how we're gonna do it, when's gonna everything will be ready, organization, etc., etc., etc. So coordination there, and lastly, I've always liked cinema a lot. I watch lots of movies, lots of series. Well, also play lots of video games. So I've been really interested in cinematography lately, and I bought a cinematography course, and I learned a couple of stuff. And in the last weeks of development, before launch, I started to improve the cinematics, like some shots, putting some effects on them, putting the like the blurry black background. I don't know if people notice. Maybe when they're done correct, people don't actually know that someone is behind that. But that one was one of the tasks that I really enjoyed of the game, because one day I just watched a video. They say, look, you can do this and improve your shot like 100%. I did it and it worked, so I started to improve all the shots of the game.
Well, but I think
if
that's...
you want to see a change sometime, just see an older gameplay of the bathroom, for example, of the two main cinematics, and then take a look on the latest patch, and you will see the difference.
Well, I think that you know, whether or not people realize it, I mean, that's a very important thing, because again, I mean, especially a game like this where atmosphere is very influential on your experience of the game, it's really important to actually pay attention to all that cinematography stuff to it. I mean, whether or not we as gamers realize it, but yeah, I mean, you can tell definitely, because of the way that the shadows reflect off the walls, the way that the atmosphere is like something subtle, you know, like even the swinging lamp, the swinging light that's at the top of this, you know, this room right here. It's all little subtle details, but it makes such a big difference, you know? Like you could have easily just put, okay, Caroline's holding this lighter, we're going to cast a shadow and it's just going to be a static image. But the shadow is moving with relation to the way that the flame on her lighter is moving. That's little details that makes a massive difference, you know? And again, whether or not the gamer realizes it is one thing, but it's
like something subconscious.
Right. It's just something that's there that you don't, unless you're paying attention to it, you can't really truly appreciate it. But it does affect your gameplay. It does affect your experience. You know, that was one of the biggest things for me. Like, for example, the original Resident Evil 2, right, on PS1. At the time, they, you know, because constraints of the hardware, they couldn't mess with a whole bunch of the lighting and make it the way that they wanted to do it. But then when you have Resident Evil 2 Remake, oh my god, like the way that they did all the lighting in the RPD, you know, it was a dark game, not like the first game, or you know, the original version where everything was lit up, you know, like all the lights in the police station worked. But
Yeah.
you know, it's such a big difference, huge difference. Same thing like when they remade the first Resident Evil, you know, on the GameCube, the way they did the lighting with the effects of just even the thunder and the lightning that's in the background, like the way it lights up the main hall. Like I remember walking in that main hall and hearing that thunder for the first time, and it scared me because that's not something that was in the original game. You know, it's things like that. You know, like this game, the way that you guys did the audio design, it makes the mansion, hospital, whatever you want to call it, it makes it feel alive, and that is terrifying. You know, I love that.
Yeah, even we wanted to in the polish phase. I think we still polishing stuff. We wanted the mansion to move, kind of the same, a little more, have more stuff moving, like the body hanging over there.
Right.
Because sometimes it may feel that everything is static. But we needed to focus on other really important things. But yeah, audio helps a lot. That's all on Nick's. He made mostly the most part of the audio design. We got another person before, but we asked her for themes of the games or just the music or some sound effects, but not the implementation. So Nick started to, he's a coder too, a programmer, and he makes the music and VFX. So he started to make little stuff that the if if a monster makes a sound, but you shoot him or he falls dead, the sound stop and don't keep playing. And same thing if you change the if a cinematic ends, the music can keep playing. And yeah, little stuff that people take for granted.
Right.
They're actually sometimes hard to pull off. So it's kind of, there's a lot of things that most of the time may look simple, but are pretty hard to do.
Like, what was the most challenging thing you guys had to do in this game?
For me, I had the same question the other day, and I said the PlayStation 5 the save system.
Is the PlayStation 5 what system?
Save system.
Oh, why is it different than PC?
It was a nightmare. Yeah, in PC you took a file, write the file, and you're good to go. And PlayStation system you had to get make a request and then mount a thing and then write the file, ask for the user, then unmount the file. There's a 10 steps that you have to do. But before we needed to connect before at the start of the game to the PlayStation system, so then we could say that it was a name.
Wait,
it was a real name.
I'm gonna tell you right now, just because from experience myself with just, you know, the way that PlayStation does things nowadays, I hate it. I hate it. Their saves are locked to your own personal account. So like, it's not like back in the day where like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, you have memory cards. So if you were at your friend's house and you wanted to keep playing, you could just take your memory card, go to your friend's house, and you could play it at his house. Now, you can't do that because if you're not logged into your PlayStation account, you can't continue your save. So I hate that, and I think that's probably why you guys had to jump through hoops with that too, because that's all in coding. Oh man, that sucks that was the hardest part for you guys. So was the Xbox system a lot easier in that case?
Yeah, I think it's really similar to PlayStation. Also, I think I mean, it's really similar to PC,
Uh-huh.
but Xbox has. We thought, oh, the save system it's already done. We don't have to. The hardest part is done, but we were wrong because Xbox has a particularity that is you can change user in the same account in the same session. So I don't know if you have noticed, every Xbox or Xbox game or PC game on the Xbox platform has an option on the main menu that is for changing users.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
So we had to do that from scratch, and we had to cover the cases if the user disconnects, if another user just log in, what happens. And also I'm missing one thing. The documentation wasn't that good, so also that was really complicated at the start. We didn't know if we could make it in time, but everything worked out and we did it. But yeah, every console, you think that some things are better, but they have their own thing.
Uh-huh.
So they're special, each one of them.
How's that Switch version coming along?
The Switch version is not done yet. The Switch version, as you will guess, it's the optimization part.
Yeah.
We have been playing with that, lowering the lags, lowering the resolution, switching how things load in the game, stuff like that. So actually, it's pretty playable right now. We still to polish some bugs, but we're getting close to that final version.
Oh, okay. So it's moving along. Is there any possibility? You probably can't answer that. I was gonna say, is there any possibility that it would come out sooner than what you guys expected it to, like the Xbox version? Because you guys were saying that originally it was supposed to be.
We wanted the Xbox version to be ready to be launched with the other two platforms.
Okay.
And we got the date. We sent the game to certification, but we had some problems, so we had to send again, and we lost time there. So that's because it didn't go out with the other platforms, and got delayed a little.
Right.
But yeah, I think we're in track with the other platform, but I can't say when they're coming. I just can say they're coming. They're coming.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the what is it? The scheduled release date is October 29th. I think that's what I've been seeing everywhere.
I think that for the Switch, what's that date? Yeah.
October 29th, yeah. And PS4 as well, right? I think it's supposed to be at the same time. I'm just saying what I see on like the websites, you know. Speaking of,
we're still need to figure that dates out.
Okay. I mean, speaking of the websites, I mean, like the physical release, I've had a hard time finding the physical release of this game. Like, there's some places that have it. Thankfully, Amazon restocked it. I showed you that people were already trying to scalp the game on Amazon, which is crazy. I mean, that must make you feel pretty good, though.
Yeah, of course. I was. I don't know. I'm gonna say it. I was even happy when we realized that the game was like getting on RGB or decide that they pirate the game. Because you say, wow, we did it to the big leagues, where the people are downloading free the game, and then so I saw lots of comments that they say like they like the game, so they were going to buy it, so win for us.
Yeah, I mean, like me, you know, I got a digital copy of the game, and I went and bought the physical version. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, if I enjoy a game, I'm gonna support the devs 100%, just because it's. I mean, you have to.
Yeah, it's awesome that people that really realize that if they want us to keep making games, they need to support us, because if not, we go out
Yeah.
of business.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, you guys did a fantastic job. Your whole team, the whole team. I mean, the audio design is incredible for this type of game. And especially you keep saying small team. So,
It's a small team.
you know, from the level design, which I think honestly I absolutely love the level design in this, because every area flows into the next area, so it doesn't lead to unnecessary backtracking unless you just completely miss an item and then you forget where it is. You know, like right now, right? I have to go from the basement to then the generator to turn off the generator and then go back to the basement. So that flows pretty well from one section to the other, and then eventually I get to the morgue and I can access the generator right from the morgue to be able to turn the generator back on. So that is
That's all
really
on the, mostly on the twins. Well, they design the flow. We make them. At first, they got, as I said before, everything on their minds. But we needed to know also how the game was going to flow. So we insisted that they made a 3D map for the mansion at the start of the game, because we needed to know how many rooms there were gonna be, how long was the game going to be, how were things connected. So we made them realize that they needed the map, and actually we used it a lot on the first when we first designing the mansion. But yeah, then the shortcuts and where the puzzles were going, or the arrangement was all on their side.
well. I mean, they did a good job with the.
I also like it. When I played the full game, I really like as you say, how the game flows, because
Right.
yeah, sometimes can be a little trickier because it's not right in front of you. You have to navigate maybe one or two rooms, but you have the shortcuts that help you get really quick to the next area or the past area.
Right.
So you don't have to make don't travel too much distances.
Right. Somebody's asking if you speak Spanish. Yes. It's
Sí.
originally from Spanish.
Hablo español y hablo chileno.
There you go.
Chilean is here in South America, we Chileans talk really fast. So
not as I don't know. I mean, I'm Cuban. We speak pretty fast there too.
Yeah, I in 2009 I went to this work on travel experiences. I went to the USA, to West Virginia, and we had some friends from South America. There were Argentinians, Colombians, I think, Peruvian and Bolivian people, and sometimes we started to talk between Chileans with a Peruvian next to us, and they say sometimes, dude, I don't know what you just said. I just heard riverish. Because we talk really fast.
Well, for me, okay, so my issue with Spanish, because like I said, I'm Hispanic too, I'm Cuban Peruvian, and my issue is that, like, I'm so used to hearing Cubans talk that when I hear other Spanish speakers speak from different countries, the dialects are different sometimes. So then I just don't understand the way that they say some of the words. So I get confused. Just like you said, that if they hear you speak, that they don't understand you. It's a similar way. It's really weird. It's really weird the way that things work like that. So Ashley said that there's crashing and frame rate drops on Xbox right now. That there's a patch coming out for that, right? I think you mentioned there's a patch.
Yeah. The patch is I think the patch went up today. Maybe you should check out. But yeah, the first version was with some wrong settings, so we fixed it right away with the first patch. And there was a really weird problem with some controllers on the Xbox. It happened that if you started the game and got to the main menu, you couldn't move the game at all. And we asked to some people, and it's for the way that the tool that we use for the controls to detect the devices of the console. Sometimes a guy told us that he was playing a game and he had a hard drive connected, and it was detecting the hard drive as a joystick. So we had the same issue here, but it's fixed now too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm listening to you talk, and then I'm forgetting where to go in the game. Because I'm not paying attention to the game. I'm just like on autopilot mode right now, because yeah, I played this game so much. I have over 40 hours in the game now. On a game that you can beat in less than 2 hours. Once you get it down,
Awesome.
you know?
That's really great. And to Ashley, that's telling us that was 30 minutes ago. If you have any issues with that, please, if you can report it on the Discord, that would be great for us, because we are always checking it out.
Yeah.
So we can solve the most critical bugs.
Yeah, Ashley. They have their own Discord for the game. If anything, if you want to send it to me, I'll go ahead and I can post it in their Discord as well. Because I don't know if she has you guys' Discord or not. Come on, follow me.
Sorry, was that to me?
No, I was telling Ashley that if you know, if anything, she can send me the bugs and I can post it in your Discord.
Yeah, that really helps us. Really, we always check the forums. We check maybe not all of them because there are a lot, but we have some people from PQ that show us or they always alert, and they feed us with the most critical stuff. So we are always paying attention to that and fixing as quick as possible.
How many publishers did you have to approach for the game?
Actually, I don't remember. They came to us, PQ.
Oh, okay.
The twins posted a video of Caroline walking through the corridor, and we started to get attention. So we got some publishers reaching to us. We were going to start when we were going to start looking for publishers. So it was a really happy coincidence. I think we got in touch with 4 that were really interested, but PQ was the most interested of all of them.
Well, I mean, for good reason, definitely.
I was really happy that they believed in us. I really thank them, because we were no one for saying, because
Right.
we haven't any game out, and they still trusted us with their support. We had background doing small games because we did some work for hire before, but I don't know, I think we transmitted some good vibes to them, and they've been fantastic with us, and they're really happy with us too.
And I think it's safe to say that we're all happy with them and with you guys. You guys have a lot of support, especially from the Spanish community, because I mean, this is a game that's made by Hispanic developers. So I mean, I love seeing it too in my comment section, in my chats. Like, you get people saying congrats for the great game for a Chilean game. You know, like things like that is awesome to see. You know, it's which makes me think, why is
there-
the game based in Canada?
What have you done to the lock, miss?
It's more appealing to the mainstream audience, I think.
Hi, ma'am.
Next game, we'll maybe do it in a more exotic location. Lastly, no, not lastly, lately, I've been coming out some really great games from South America. We're starting making great games. There has been some great games in the past, but they haven't get noticed a lot. But the barriers for developers are lower than ever. Most of the stuff that you need to make games are coming for free. Unity is free, Unreal is free, Blender is free for the 3D models. You got subscription models for the music that you can use in your games. So people now doesn't have the limitations that had 10 or 15 years ago. So they can start showing their unique vision for new games, and there's a lot of great games that are coming from South America, and every day there are more companies that want to take a piece.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of the big games that are coming from South America are actually horror games, which is very, very fun for me because I'm a huge horror fan. So the more the merrier. But you mentioned when we spoke before that a lot of the game for the lore aspects of it was based off of, you know, religious stuff in your own country. Is that something that was originally just from the beginning? That's what was planned?
Can you ask again?
Okay, so a lot of the story in this game is based. It's religious based. You know, there's a lot of religion in the game. You mentioned that a lot of it came from your country. So the idea of the religion came from your country because your country is a very religious country. You know, the Spanish communities are very religious in general. Was that something that was always planned from the beginning when the twins developed the game? They wanted it to be, you know, to have religious influence in there?
I actually don't know how to respond that. I don't know if it was from the beginning of the game, from the first version when they had the mobile version, but when we started to remake the lore of the game, I think the other day we were talking and Sven told them that I think Sven introduced that idea, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But no, I can't answer because I don't really know.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's just stuff that I'm curious about because, you know, when it comes to like religious stuff, it's very easy to make a horror story around religion. You know, there's so many of them that are based around religion. So I think it just makes things a little bit easier as far as storytelling goes.
Maybe.
I mean, you think about it. Look at all the horror movies, for example. There's a lot of religious horror movies. You know, you have like The Exorcist. You have The Omen.
Yeah, there's something about the rituals and like hell and heaven and
yeah,
and the unknown that's appealing for all the scary content. Like you say, like movies like the Conjuring,
right?
like possess people, the demons, etc., etc., etc. All
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, and I think, oh man, and the thing with this game, like the whole religious cult thing, that is so Silent Hill, right? Like, Silent Hill, you kind of have that same aspect where they're trying to resurrect, you know, the entity that that the daughter is part of, and I mean you can feel and see that influence in this game, and I know that the twins wanted it to be heavy on Silent Hill, and I think as far as the way the story is told in this, it's more Silent Hill than Resident Evil for sure. The gameplay is more Resident Evil, but the story is definitely more Silent Hill. And I have, again, nothing but good things on that, because that is very, very good for storytelling. And again, it's the first game. I mean, you guys make a sequel to this, or not necessarily a direct sequel, but a sequel like like in the same universe, to expand on that story. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I want more. And even in your Discord, I know you see it. In your Discord, everybody's, oh, when's the sequel coming? We want more of the game. When can that happen? How can we make this happen? We want a sequel.
Buy the game.
Buy the game. There you go. That's the answer.
There were on the critics. There was a lot of one of our lowest point. It's always been the story and the combat. We will definitely remake the combat for our next game, and the story. I think it's a good story, but we didn't have much resources to tell it properly. We were amateurs in telling this story. We did it as we could, and we, for the animations too, they always say that there's stiff animations, the I don't know, the hair isn't moving, or the maybe seem robotic, etc. It's because we had to use we don't have motion capture equipment, for example. So we needed to rely on the traditional animation. We want to, or lip sync too. We want to improve on that, all of that on our next project, and we're already look into that, having maybe motion capture to tell the story, maybe.
Oh, that gets really expensive though.
How to tell a good story. As I said before, the barriers are lowering, and motion captures, the basic one, are not as expensive as they used to be. We're not talking about a huge building with 100 cameras and.
Okay.
There's some suits that you put with some points, or tracking points, and,
right.
And you're good to go. That doesn't cost much more than $5,000 or $10,000.
Okay.
That at the beginning of this game, where that could last us months to make the advances on the game.
Well, if you start developing on a sequel and you're gonna do motion capture, then definitely try to get a hold of Nick Apostolides, the voice actor motion capture for Leon from Resident Evil 2 remake. He'd be down for it for sure for this type of game.
Yeah, the voices also, they told us that they doesn't sound good, and that if that was on purpose to mimic that old games, or at bad because they're just bad. They sound like they sound like they sound because they were made just like in the old games without even noticing it. We noticed later because when people started to complain, because since we didn't have the ability to make motion capture, we can't do the performances with the characters at the same time.
Right.
We just landed on how do you say the people that they make voiceover? You send the people
voice actors.
a script. The voice actors.
Yeah.
there's a site where you can hire voice actors. You send them
Right.
the script and maybe the expressions that they need to have to some line, but you can't make much corrections. They're limited to what's saying on the script. You can't even send the videos, or it was so expensive. I don't know. So of course it was going to sound off most of the time, because they just were reading what they have. And it turned out that it was almost like the old games, because they on their time had to rely on the same practices.
Right.
Because they didn't knew the language, because they didn't have the budget to make the movements of the voices, etc.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, again, I mean, you mentioned it before. Small developers. I mean, this is your first game. I haven't really heard many people complain about the voice acting on my end, right? Like to me, the voice acting is okay. Like if this game had no voice acting, it'd be fine for me too. Just because I don't really pay attention to the voice acting. I wasn't expecting, a stellar cast, it's just that's not what I look for in these type of games. I look at gameplay, I look at the experience, the overall experience that I get when I play the game, and
sure, but sadly, most people, it's really weird, because a lot of people say, "Oh no, you should care about the experience, not the graphics, not the sound, not the graphics, not the high poly count, etc., etc., etc." But first thing that they look into a new generation, if you show them a new game and it looks like the past generation, they say, "Hey, but this looks exactly like last generation." It's the first thing that they ask. And with our game, it happened that I think not all the time they realize it's an indie title, and there's already a standard with this kind of game, so they're judging us as a much bigger game. It's flattering for us, but it's also like a double-edged sword. Because we get lower grades or lower scores because of that.
well, see, okay, so for me, I've heard a couple people complain about the character models, that they didn't like the design of the character models, but at the same time, then they say it doesn't really matter so much to them, just because the way that the game feels, right? So once they actually start playing the game, they don't focus on the way that the character models look, because they're so engrossed and taken aback by the complete atmosphere of the game itself. A lot of people say, it brings them back to when they played Resident Evil 1 Remake for the first time. And that's the experience that they get, once they get away from how the design of the characters look. So, that's actually how I feel too. Like, I don't really care so much about how the characters look. To me, it's more so the way the game feels as a whole.
Yeah.
I can forgive other things.
I understand. I mostly what I like from the games is as I said before, is the story. I like the characters to be engaging and the story to be interested. If that's that good, I don't really care much if it has flaws. What I will remember will be the story and the characters. I was playing the other day 12 minutes. Have you played it?
I haven't played it yet. Everybody keeps telling me to play it.
It's good. It's really good. I was playing it because it was on the Game Pass on Xbox. And,
oh, it is?
Yeah, and since it features James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley, I knew it was pretty heavy on the the performance and the story. So I'm playing it. It's really good. Also, I noticed some minor troubles here and there. Maybe, I don't know, animations sometimes aren't that good or stuff, but I don't really care much about that since they bring in an awesome story.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I didn't even know that that they had a voice cast like that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I
It-
don't know how much that costs, but it's awesome.
I was gonna
like
say, isn't that an indie title?
And William Defoe.
Isn't that an indie title though?
Yeah, it looks pretty indie.
Jesus, and they spent that much money. Okay, that's
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of their hook. I really like when actors get involved with that kind of projects, like Ellen Page or Elliot Page, when he starred on the Quantic Dreams Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or also Rami Malek when I started on this game like that looked like a B horror movie. I don't remember the name.
Game that looked like a.
Do you know that game? Let me check it. Rami Malek B horror movie game. It's one. Here's the game. What's the name? Until Dawn.
What's it called?
Until Dawn.
Oh, he was in that? I didn't even know he was in that.
Yeah, he was one of the main characters. Well, it were like 8 characters. He was one of them. Also the Hayden Panettiere, the one that did the cheerleader on the streets.
Heroes. Yeah.
And it's really great that actors are or recognizable faces are entering this world, but also like that the actors that do mostly games are really recognizable, like Troy Baker.
Yeah. Oh, Troy Baker's one of my favorite voice actors for games. Like, he has such a recognizable voice, you know?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh, I did this puzzle wrong. Yeah, like, if you had a choice for like the next game, if there was a voice actor that you would want to work with that to get into your game, who would that be? Like, who would you want? Who would you want in your next game?
I've never thought of that, but I really like the combination that Troy Baker and I forgot this guy's name. Is one of my favorites. The voice of Nathan Drake.
Oh God, why can't I remember? Nolan North.
Nolan North. I really like the voices that Nolan North can do, and it's actually one of my favorite voice actor, along with Troy Baker. So maybe them. That would be my dream choice.
Fair enough. Good choices. I mean, again, very, very recognizable.
Yeah, sometimes that not so good. I mean, I played have you played Shadow Complex?
No, I haven't.
No, it's a game, a side-scroller game, kind of a Metroidvania from the 2008. Kind of revived the Metroidvania in that time because nobody was doing it, and they brought the genre back with the 3D graphics and new mechanics like interacting with the environment, with the background, etc. And Nolan North was in that game, and I think it was close the performance to what was the Nathan Drake performance. To too similar. But Nolan North was also in Last of Us, and not everyone noticed that because he was the villain and he did a really creepy voice. And I didn't know that he was in the game after I checked why Nolan North wasn't in that game, and then I realized that he actually was, because he did a really different voice in that game. So
Wait.
he's very versatile in that game.
Wait, in the first Last of Us?
Yeah.
Was he who was he playing? David?
David, yes, David.
Really? I didn't even know that was Nolan North.
I think it's
The one that
yes.
yeah, the
it's
cannibal.
him. Yep.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's
I didn't know that was him.
So yeah, I had the same reaction.
That's crazy. It's so funny though, like the way that some voice actors, they can just change their voice. You have no idea that is them, you know? Like
yeah, that's amazing.
I had the opportunity to interview Sean Chiplock. Okay, so Sean Chiplock does the voices for Rivali in Breath of the Wild. He does the voice for Mishima in Persona 5. He does a lot of JRPGs. Okay, so that's what he does voice acting for. But I heard him, he did so many different voices for me that it was like I just couldn't believe what I was hearing out of this one person. You ever see the movie Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you know King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph. He did the voice of King Candy, then he switched the voice to do something else, and then he just kept on switching to all these different voices that if I didn't know that I was talking to him right at that moment, I would have no idea that it was him. It was incredible. And just like those are real talented voice actors, and those are the guys that like you could hire them to do like 5 different characters in your game and no one would know the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes they're recognizable for one voice, but yeah, when you realize that there are more things that you didn't even know, you know how talented they are.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like he even told me he was in God of War. And I was like, "You were in God of War?" He's like, "Yes, I was the enemies that you fight in God of War, the PS4 one. He was the enemy for all of them." And so he told me the process for that, where when he went to audition for it, they said, "Okay, so we want you to just imagine a dumpster that's on fire, that you're just throwing animals into that dumpster." And so he just did a voice for that, and they hired him for that. And I was like, that is the craziest story. He's like, "Yep." And he was uncredited for the role because it was just, a small little role. But it's just that type of stuff, like you just have no idea. Like the fact that you mentioned that, William Dafoe is in, what you said, 12 rooms? Like,
12 minutes.
12 minutes, yeah, 12 minutes. That's crazy. I wouldn't have thought that, he'd be in a game like that. But, I mean, that's what it is, Like, these people, they can just do whatever, whatever, because they can do stuff with their voice, Oh, man, I'm honestly, I'm excited for what you guys can do moving forward with these games, because you guys did such a phenomenal job that, like, I'm so blown away by how much I enjoy this game, by how much I've played this game, no matter how many times I've beaten it, and I still find enjoyment out of it. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this success.
Yeah, it will take maybe a while because we have to start from scratch. I mean, we have to start from scratch the idea, but we already got a background for the technology. because we got all the season that we did for this game.
Right.
So we're not starting from zero. We need to land a new idea. But the next game should be bigger and have more features than this.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, tell P-Cube to fund it. To be like, hey, P-Cube, just throw us all your money. Let's go. Everybody wants this. Let's make it happen. Oh, anyways, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know that you guys, you're busy and.
I'm fine. I go to sleep like in 2 hours, so
you're like me.
Don't worry.
You're like me. Okay, so let's take a look at the chat really quick. Let me pause this just for a second here. So someone was asking if the Xbox One version, when is that releasing? That didn't release at the same time as the Series X version?
No. We went to a new generation first because they were easier and they were the consoles that we aimed. Second, at first the game was going to be on PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Then our publisher offered us to move the development to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch before we got the development kits.
Right.
So we accepted because since there were going to be less audience, but also less game to compete with. The consoles were more powerful, so we were going to have problems with the performance of the game. So we went with that, and then people start to ask why we were canceling the other versions, and there was a lot of people asking, so we decided to re-announce the game for that all the platforms. But yeah, we kept first the new console, the new generation consoles, the launch and PC, and having a later date the old versions because they need a little more craftsmanship, I think that's the word. They need a little more time because optimization and stuff.
And honestly, I think that was probably one of the smartest decisions that you guys made, was focusing on the newer consoles, because it helps with the quality. It's easier to, as far as quality goes, it's easier to build for the highest thing and then downgrade it, because it's just like a PC game, right? So if you're playing this game on PC, or any game on PC, and your PC can't handle the max settings, you just start turning it down to get the best frame rates. So I mean, personally, I'm under the assumption that it's very similar in that regard to when you're working on consoles. You do it for the most powerful console, and then you start tuning it down from there. Whereas if you do it the other way, then you can see kind of like performance issues on the more powerful consoles, where it's like it's not pushing to the maximum that it can do. That's the way that I see it, because
it's well, in our development it was mostly like getting the settings right we treated the consoles like a PC, so we needed to set the settings right. And the good part of the console is, since they're closed ecosystem, you know that your game will run basically the same on all the consoles,
right?
But on PC you can have 1,000 configurations, millions of configurations, and you don't know what will happen with each of them.
Right.
So I like consoles in that aspect because they're not too hard. They don't present too much problems, like random crashes or stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it is a thing that people don't understand when it comes to developing a game. That consoles, it's more streamlined. You don't have to worry about any sort of different configurations, exactly like you said. You know, just because it runs fine on one PC doesn't mean it's going to run exactly the same on another. You know, it's it's the sad truth when it comes to PC gaming. But I think honestly it was one of the smartest things to do, especially when you guys released it on PC first. That was a very smart thing to do, because then you give that opportunity to a lot of players to get the word of mouth going for the game.
Yeah, and also for the PC, we at first it was going to be. I mean, I think we were going to launch earlier. I'm not really sure. No, I think it was always September, but in the development was supposed to be done in March. So then PQ offered asked if we wanted a demo. We weren't sure if a demo was going to be good, because in the past I've heard that the demo is for the big games was a waste of time and the conversion wasn't really good. But for us was really good, because it gave us a lot of visibility on YouTube and on social media. Since we uploaded the demo on Steam, every day we saw like 5 to 10 videos of the people playing the game until basically the release of the game. And then that's when we started to see that people really liked it. And PQ, after seeing the good reception of that demo, offered us the demo for PlayStation 5. So things kept stacking on the development cycle, and we had other things to complete before. I don't know how we did it, that we managed to make all the things that we did.
See, you mentioned that you weren't sure about doing the demo because for big games it causes issues. I think that leans more along the lines of betas, not so much demos, because usually demos, it's a product of, or it's a representation of what the finished product will be like, to an extent. I mean, there might be some changes, but for the most part, it's a stable version of the game, so you can play it. Where betas, it's always, I mean, they're unstable versions. I mean, they're meant to find bugs and stuff like that, and I think people forget that that's the difference between the two. And so people treat betas like a demo when that's not the way that they were meant to be. You know, the demo is supposed to showcase the game, where beta is supposed to find the issues when you allow multiple people to play them.
Test the performance or stress test the servers and that kind of stuff.
Right, and so because of that, I think that's more so why big games get affected negatively sometimes when it comes to betas, because people treat the betas like they're demos of the games without realizing that no, they're betas. It's for stress testing. It's for finding bugs. It's to find out what happens if we open our servers to everybody, and then you have crashing on servers and things like that. And we've had that. What game did that happen for? Oh, Resident Evil RE-verse. That's a perfect example. RE-verse, they did a closed beta to select people only, which I was fortunate enough to be in that closed beta for. And in that closed beta, it had bugs, but it actually ran pretty well. There were some latency issues going on, but that's expected out of a beta. Then they did an open beta for it. And the open beta, when they first released it, it did so bad because it crashed the servers instantly. They had to pull it down. They pulled the game down from the servers. And so people then just started reacting negatively towards it, because it was something that Capcom, number one, wasn't expecting. They weren't ready for that. There was so many people that were wanting to play this, and so when the servers crashed, everybody was up in arms. Oh, the servers are crashed. This is going to be a bad game, a bad time, and it got negative press because of that. Then once they put the game back up on the servers and allowed people to play it again, there were still issues. There were still crashing issues. But again, you're stress testing stuff. There were still latency issues, and when I played it, I actually had a better time playing the closed beta than the open beta because there were less people, so there was less stress on the servers. You had less latency issues, but at the same time, I'm not gonna, because I know how the industry works. I know what the betas are used for. I'm not going to hold that against the game because of the issues that the open beta was having. That's that's stuff that they can fix. If it was a demo, say like you guys released a demo, and the demo was full of bugs. There's so many problems in the demo. That would have given you negative press. That would have given you bad press.
Yeah.
But you guys released a demo, a working demo that was a good representation of what the actual game was. And that works in your favor. And I think that's, especially for a community that was very excited to begin with, that helped to give word of mouth and positive press amongst the community. So props to you guys for actually doing a good demo and for it working out that way.
Yeah, but we really discussed. The people they expect to have. I think it's the times. Maybe we're spoiled.
Maybe no, we are spoiled
because they tend to, if they don't like something, they can change to other things so quickly that you can forget at the second that for the one that you tried like a minute ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Games are really disposable these days, so if you don't give a good impression, you're really risking to lose your audience. Fortunately, we tested a lot our demo. It actually was a better version of the demo that we showed to the publisher. That was like the first section of the game that we did. All the west side of the mansion, with the generator, the bathtub, and the waiting room. And so it was the part that has more iterations, and we knew that worked well. At first, we didn't know if we only were going to show the puzzles, but we say maybe if we don't show combat, people will think that this is just a combat a puzzle game, and we're not going to have combat. Then added the combat. We didn't knew if the demo was going to be too long or too short. Then we realized that it was a long demo. A lot of people, sometimes when they were about to finish, I heard more than once that they said, "How long is this demo?" And then they hit the hole and they say, "Oh no, it's already over," and they wanted to play more. So I think we nailed it with the exact point where to finish the demo, or the length of the demo and what we showed. But yeah, as you said, you have to be really careful. I don't know if this were a AAA game, if it will be the same. Maybe the demo will have been smaller, or a complete different section of the game, or maybe mix different parts of the games. Like for example, when they show in the on E3 demos of Call of Duty, and they play the part, and they say they cut to black, then they say in the interest of time, and they snap to another section of the game to show you the firewall and the action parts. It's really complicated, and as I say, that's why you don't see much demos of the big games nowadays. Before, I remember the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era. There were a lot of demos for the games, but you don't see that much anymore because it's not profitable for them, because the conversion rate are, I think there is if they spend that money on marketing, I think they're gonna get more sales than if they make a demo.
See, and that's the thing. Like for me, a demo is part of marketing, though.
Yeah, but maybe it's not that strong. That's other thing of other type of marketing.
That's fair. I think the best way to do a demo is if it's something that's new, something that people aren't sure of, or if it's a drastic change to an already existing series. You know, I think that's when a demo is important to do. Like, for example, Resident Evil 7, right? So Resident Evil 7 was completely different than Resident Evil 6 was, or anything we had before. So a demo was very important for them to put out for that game.
Yeah, you like to assure to the new audiences that they will like it, that they will like it.
Right. And even to the old audiences too, because you're talking about, you know, like a long-running series.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. I meant the your audience as a whole. So.
Right. So I mean, I think that's when demos are important, and I don't know. For me, I personally like demos just because it gives me something to do, or like until that game actually releases, you know. But that's me. Something else.
Yeah, it's, I used to play a lot of demos before. I don't do it anymore, but yeah, sometimes only seeing videos can be tricky. I always remember when The Witcher 3 came out, the trailer was amazing, but I remember seeing lots of gameplay of the game, and I wasn't into it at all. I watched videos and I wanted to like them, but I didn't. But when I played, I bought the game out of how do you say moda? Because everyone was buying it. I bought it because everyone was buying it.
Okay, that's FOMO, fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah, maybe. And played it, and it was amazing. I really liked the game. How to feel? It was for me. It was far more better than watch a person playing the game. And I think it's one of the games that I spend more time playing it. I think I played it like, maybe it's not too much for a lot of people, but to me it was like 240 hours, I think. The counter for the game was bugged at that time, so I don't know exactly how many hours I played, but it was months that it was like 3 months that I spent playing the game. I didn't obtain the platinum just because one achievement was playing the game on the hard difficulty, and if I was going to play it again, I would have to spend like another 3 months.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a long time to to play a game. Something I noticed too, I don't even know if you know this, but the review copies that you sent out to to people to play, you guys actually made changes to when the game released, and you deleted our save files.
Yeah, that was intended.
Oh,
actually, they were not deleted. There's a second folder that's created.
Oh,
so the past save is there, but there was a problem. The range of some items changed for the final version. So if you play the game with your old save, you will be at risk of missing an item that maybe you needed, or get soft locked in the game.
Oh, really?
So we decided, yeah. So since the review copies that we sent was only meant to play for a few people for the reviews, we took the decision to override the saves in interest of the improving the flow of the game.
Right. So if I play my old save file, I can have the arrange mode that I want.
Maybe. I don't know if you will be able to finish the game, but maybe.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I don't know how good the game will work with the items that way.
Right. Oh, well, I mean, I know a lot of people, one of the things that they want is like extra content at the end, after you finish the game.
Yeah.
Hold on, this music is really loud. Okay, all right, we're good. I got to the part with the sister, and so the music there is really loud, even when I turn the music all the way down to 10%.
Yeah, maybe we need to reduce that a little. I'm not in charge of that, but I can pass the request.
Yeah, I'm just have them listen to it, and then you'll see, like, 'cause right now, like I said, I have the music at 10%, and so it's so loud, like as if the music goes up to back to 100%.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so like I was saying, you know, a lot of people they want extra content after they finish the game. You know, like stuff to unlock, like new skins, or you know, new outfits for Caroline, you know, secret weapons and stuff like that. Was that ever anything that was on you guys' mind to do, or is that just you just didn't have time to do it, right?
No, yeah, of course, we wanted to do it, but for time constraints, we weren't able to. Actually, the final result screen that you have, the nice result screen,
Right.
that was done, I think, for the day one patch, a week before. We had the idea like 2 months before to launch the game, but we were so busy fixing stuff and polishing that we added on the last minute. We of course want unlockables on the game, but that we didn't manage to put it on the final version. We're still looking into it, but we still need to see how things will work, because I don't know if we put for example a new outfit for Caroline, how that will work. Will be a menu on the main menu to choose the new outfit, will be a new item. If it's an item, will be Caroline able to equip it, or will be a complete new options for that. So every detail that I name, it's hours of coding, and that a person that will need to make the feature, then we need to test the feature, then testing on all the platforms. So sometimes a really small issue, a really small feature like that could cost a lot of time.
Right.
But, we want to make stuff like that, and maybe for the next versions could be something that could be added, but we're still not sure how to proceed with that. But
I mean,
we're definitely looking into it.
I think an option at the menu would probably work the best. I mean, that's how Fatal Frame does it. They have the option at the title screen. You can go ahead and just change a costume there.
Yeah, as I said, maybe it's an option. We have to study them and see how much will take us to program. There's the process to design the costumes, to make the costumes. If it's a weapon, to make the weapon. The weapon is a little easier because it can be put in the mission, like the other weapons.
Right.
But for the outfit, I think it would be different. So I think there will be some surprises for in the near future.
I'm okay with that. Somebody says clothes as a resource. How would that work? I don't even understand. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it would be on the resource tab, but if you equip, you can have equipped one item at the time. So you will have to decide if you equip the weapon or carry the lighter.
Oh god. Well, but I think they said for the clothes though.
That's why I say sometimes it seems like a really silly thing to do, but there's systems that work one way from the beginning of time. So changing that would be like changing a pillar of your house, the base of your house.
Oh,
Just
God.
you would say, hey, it's like changing the floor, putting something outside. No, you have to make lots and lots of changes before you can do anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's a lot of coding, there's a lot of different things to take in consideration. And you know, again, that's just me being a little greedy when I say that, you know, I want specific things. Just also because I mean I'm used to it, right? You know, like we play these kind of games all the time, and we're just used to being rewarded for certain things. You know, like beating the game under 3 hours, you unlock a handgun with unlimited ammo type of thing.
Yeah, of course we know. We also wanted that, but we needed to choose between stuff. I always tell the twins. Sometimes they say, "Hey, Maxi, there's a bug here." Sometimes, no sé, I don't know. The cinematic of the I want a cinematic here to show how a thing moves a little, and I say, okay, but I'm doing the PlayStation port. Do you prefer a cinematic, or you prefer the PlayStation port to be done? When we are short of time. So there have been multiple times because when we have to say no to some requests, in the interest to greater task,
right?
Like the ports for the new consoles.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, prioritize what you have to prioritize. I mean, everything else that could release can be later. I mean, that's not, you know, like for example, like when you have all your ports done and released, then if you have time, you know, you guys go back and, you know, you work on doing little extra goodies for the game to kind of keep the life going for the game.
Yeah, of course.
You know that.
Yeah, when there's an update or stuff like that, obviously people want to know what's new. If there's something really interesting, they go spread the voice, and that get more sales.
Right.
We're of course looking into stuff like more localizations. We're localizing for new regions. So that's a really big deal for us. We maybe want to do the stuff like the clothes of new weapons. We have to see if we do that. But once the game is finished, we need to focus on the new project. So that also is a bit complicated to keep making content for this game. Of course, we're gonna support it. Of course, if there is critical bugs, we're of course gonna fix it. But sadly, that can't run forever.
Right. No, eventually, I mean, new content has to stop for a game once it reaches its, you know, once it reaches a certain point. And that'll be a sad day, but hopefully we can get that sequel by then. You know, I know that development for these type of games takes a long time. I mean, I think you mentioned this game took 3-4 years to develop.
It took 2.5 years since we won a fund from the government. That was like the kickstart for the actual project, the actual development. But before, I told you the story of the twins that they started to self-learning modeling and programming for making their prototype for mobile. So that took I think another couple of years. So in total it's like I think a 5-year game.
Ben said we are at 95% in Steam. What does that mean?
Oh, finally. I'm gonna check right now. We have waited this moment like since the release of the game. Oh, extremely positive. We're there.
Oh, 95% positive review. Congrats.
Yeah, 95% means extremely positive reviews.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All these days we were rambling in between 91 and 94%. we were expecting to get 95 some of the day, but it was awaiting us.
Well, I mean, again, this is a game that people seem to just gravitate towards. I mean, People have been wanting this kind of game for a while, and you guys definitely delivered it. So congratulations on the 95%. Definitely well earned.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people. We read most of the lots of the comments, and we didn't realize that we're going to be this good. And we really thank all the community for this, and we're really humbled that we have this score on Steam. It's really unthinkable for us when we were doing it. We wanted to. We thought this was going to be a fair game, a fun game, but I think we never expect to have extremely positive reviews on Steam.
Well, I mean, I think the best thing is to not have expectations, because then if you don't meet those expectations like that, I mean, reasonable, you know, then you're not disappointed if you don't meet them. You know, like, of course you have to have some expectations because...
Yeah, I'm mostly a positive person, but not incredibly positive. Like, no, we're going to be the best game. No, I thought that the game was fun, and we were going to be fine. Actually, when we were talking of critics, and we were guessing how good our score was going to be, I told the guys that I thought that this was going to be between a 75 and 95 rate game. Right now in Metacritic on PS5, I think we're at 78. Let me check. 77 on PC and 74 on PS5. So I was kind of there at the beginning. When we got so few reviews, we started at 84. So it wasn't unthinkable. Some of the reviews got us a strength as bad things. So we got some bad reviews, but it was expected. But the thing that makes me happy is that the user score, it's really good. And on PlayStation 5 we got 89 points on user score. I think that's incredible. On PC it's lower, it's just a 74, but it got much less ratings.
How much did you say on PlayStation?
89.
That's really good. That's user reviews, you said, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
That is okay. So let's put this into perspective.
Yeah, so it shows that the people that we wanted to reach, it's really responding, and they're really liking the game, and we are amazed of that, for that.
Right. Well, hold on, because I'm gonna pull up a couple games really quick, because just to give you an idea of how well your game is being received compared to some other games, right? Especially, you know, high-end or AAA games, I should say, not high-end games. So, like, okay, let's say Resident Evil Village, okay? So you said, and I know Metacritic is, I mean, it's whatever. But your PlayStation review...
Yeah, I know that sometimes there's people that put zeros or tens, but
yeah,
because they don't like how the character talks, or because there was like one tiny thing that they don't like. Yeah, we got some of them. But I go for the majority, and I'm happy for that. That we got mostly good reception. Right,
but what I'm getting at is, you said on PlayStation you had 80. What was it? 89.
For user, not
right, for user, right. For user score on Resident Evil Village, it's 8.5. So 89 out of 100 would be 8.9. So just think about that for a minute. That's...
Yeah, no. Actually, we're 4 all-time user for PlayStation 5 now. Now I'm looking at it.
4.
That's incredible.
4 out of 5.
All-time games on PS5.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
User score all-time on PS5.
And even so another game, again, this is critic score, not user review yet because the game hasn't officially released yet, but like Tales of Arise, for example, which is a JRPG that's releasing 2 days. That has a Metacritic score of 88. And you guys, I mean, again, user review, you guys have 89. That is, oh man, that is, to me, that's a huge deal. It is a huge deal. You have people backing your game. You have people that are excited to play your game. That's got to be an incredible feeling, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's really really amazing having the an awesome community behind you, and gives you a lot of confidence and strength to keep making projects for them.
Yeah, please do. Well, we've been going on for almost 2 hours now, so I'm actually gonna get ready to head out because I've had a long day. I'm tired.
Sure, of course.
I'm also almost at the end of the game too, but
I don't know if you want to finish.
I mean, we're talking, so I'm actually running this a little bit slower than I normally would. I would have been done by now, to be honest with you. But I do want to thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it and taking some time to. So everybody,
appreciate the invitation. It was really fun.
Yeah, and I've said this before, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Thank you all, you, Sven, Nix, the twins, everybody who is in the development for this game. Thank you guys for making this game. This was very much needed.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Ashley keeps on pestering me about this. She wants to know about the game on Game Pass.
No, we're still focusing on the last gen platforms, but we want to bring the game, of course, to the most platforms that we can. We want to see if we can reach the Game Pass, maybe PlayStation Plus, maybe the Epic Store, etc., etc., etc. We want to reach as many audience as we can.
There's your answer, Ashley. Now you can stop bugging me about it. It's every day.
Maybe I don't know if there's any more questions that we can answer quickly.
Yeah, if there's anybody in the chat that has any more questions you want to ask before we head out, feel free. Now is the time. Because once we're done, then you'd have to join their Discord, which where's the link? Where did I find your Discord link? I think I found it in Steam.
Actually don't know. Let me check. Okay. Invitar. Okay, here it is. So I drop it in the chat.
If it lets you put it in the chat. If not, then one of the mods can put it in there. What's next?
I already put it there.
Okay. What's next for the development? A new game?
More games, yeah.
More games. Are you guys?
Yeah, we still don't know what's going to be the next game, but we're already having some conversations about it.
Do you know if it's going to be like another horror game, or is it going to be something different?
Yeah, we're going to stick to the genre, but we don't know exactly what we're aiming to after.
Okay. Somebody asked, are all the cutscenes pre-rendered, or are they all in game?
Yeah, they're mostly all in game, except the first and second cinematic, the one that comes before the letter when Caroline is at her bedroom, and the one that shows the mansion for the first time. Those are pre-rendered.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Oh god, I love this puzzle. Oh, here's a question. Besides the Infinity Room, because you said that was one of your favorite puzzles, what's your favorite puzzle besides the Infinity Room?
My favorite puzzle. Not this one.
Not this one.
I did this one too. So, maybe one of the most that I like the most is the first one with the locker,
Okay.
because that's when I really put some game design on it, so I really like that. I like the one of the monkeys too.
The monkey one was good.
Yeah, I think that would be two of my favorite puzzles.
Do you have any plans to allow mod support for the game? I'm guessing on
no,
Steam.
Sorry, I don't think we doesn't haven't even talked about that, so I don't think that will be an option.
Okay. Let's see. When will we see a sequel to the game? You guys are gonna get that question a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I know. I know that we're gonna have it. I don't know. No, I can't answer right now. So maybe in next year we will know.
Whenever
we have to finish the porting of the game and start the new project, make a new prototype, and see what is going.
When you guys are ready, that's the answer.
Yeah.
when you're ready, don't rush it. All right. So
yeah, it's better when you rush stuff, so
right.
you can have a thing like Cyberpunk. We don't want to be like that and don't deliver and lose all the traction that we have gained.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing. So never rush a game, because then you end up with Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. No, and sorry, Aaron is saying that if people want a sequel, that's a good sign. I know it's a good sign, but we don't want to screw it, and we want to deliver to. We want to deliver another amazing experience, and that everyone likes it. So we don't want to rush it.
An Android port. So Ashley was wondering when the mobile version's coming out.
Maybe. No, I don't. Cell phones are crazy powerful these days, but I think that they're even worse than PC configurations, like running on the different platforms that are.
You want your mobile version? Go get it on the Switch. That's your mobile version.
Yeah, Switch is coming. Switch is coming soon, so stay tuned for that.
I might pick it up on the Switch just to see the differences.
It will be basically the same game, just the graphics will change.
Well, but that's what I'm referring to. I want to see the differences in the graphics, like side by side comparisons.
Yeah, it's mostly the mainly thing that will change. The other stuff that will change will be the stuff that people don't see, how the game loads behind the curtains and that kind of stuff.
Oh man, how would you react if you were nominated for a game award? Oh boy.
That will be amazing. I wish that we could compete at that level. I think maybe we've got praised a lot about the music. I think the music really had chances to get really good nominations. I don't think the graphics. I don't know the graphics, since the graphics compete on the AAA level, unless that's indie categories. Then I think that we definitely can compete there. But I think the sound design that the games have, it's one of our strongest points, and that will be really great. We actually won a game, not a game award. There's a lot of other competitions. We got one best Latin American game from Exola, and we went to start competing on other festivals and competitions like Game Connection and the IGF on Gamescom on GDC. Sorry. So we went to maybe graphics, maybe game overall. I don't know, but yeah, Game Awards that would be amazing and will give us even more visibility than we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never. I don't know how it works as far as nominations go, like who decides on any of that, but man, you just never know.
Yeah, it's always there's a jury. You have to apply to the prizes. It's not like they see games and they say, oh, I nominate this. This is no. It's the company that has to enter. Like it's a contest. It's a contest. You have to register. You have to send like videos or gameplay or etc. And there's a jury that will evaluate your game, and they will decide. The jury, I don't know, experts on the industry, I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of the process.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know there was a whole process like that. I honestly thought it was just they actually pick the games, not that you have to register for it.
Yeah, no, it's like that. When I was younger, I thought that too. That they just, since you saw always the marketing and stuff, you say it's obvious that it's obviously that game was going to be nominated. But if they don't nominate themselves, or if they don't enter the contest, they won't participate. So yeah, the more contest you enter, the more chances that you have to win, and I think that we have a really good chances to win some awards.
Well, I mean, fingers crossed, definitely, because I mean, this is one of the better games that I've played this year so far.
Thank you.
Year's not over, but I mean, honestly, this is one of the better games I've played. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, I'm legitimate when I say it. I mean, it's like I enjoyed.
No, I can see that you enjoyed genuinely the game.
I mean, someone, Jamie in the comments said, "Dang, you like this game." I do like this game. I like this game a lot. DLC. Would there be any DLC for Tormented Souls? What kind of DLC would there be for this game? I don't.
Maybe I think we talked about a DLC on one occasion. Maybe the story, how spoilers. Shut your ears. How the backstory for Anna and Emma, maybe when we were young, the stuff of the bridge and.
Oh, okay. Like their escape.
Maybe would be that. We talked about that, but we don't know. Maybe from the reception of the game, we will see if it can be done. But there's not in our plans for now.
Okay, that would actually be interesting, is to see like their escape from the place, or well, they only one of them escapes, but I think that'd be a nice little story to tell.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a DLC, but doing a DLC will definitely delay the next game. So
yeah,
it's what I say to the guys. What would you prefer? A new game or a DLC and a new game later on? So
yeah, no,
you have to
for sure.
Make the choices that maybe see before how well will be received, and then say, okay, we're going to go this way.
Yes, especially being a smaller team like you guys.
Yeah, if we were bigger, maybe a small team could take the engine of the game and make the DLC, and then the main team continue to make the whole other thing, the whole other game. And maybe for a second game that would be easier since we will be we should be bigger in size. But all that depends on how long we want to spend doing the next game, how much resources we will have, and how much people we will have, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, I mean, if you had a specific team to just work on DLC and another team to just focus on the the next game, that would be ideal. But I don't know how much manpower and how many resources you would need to do something like that. I don't know how big is your team right now? How many people do you have currently?
Maybe Sven can help me here. I think he's still on the chat. I think we're 6. Let me count. There's the twins. Tomas, Nix, Sven, Felipe. No, we're more. I think maybe we're 9.
That's
Not
it?
everyone full time. Not everyone full time, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
9 or 10, I think.
See, I'm here thinking when
Yeah.
you say small team, I'm here thinking like a team of like 20 people.
No, it's smaller. Maybe when we're at our most in the peak of the development, but right now, no.
Wow. Whew. 5 devs, 2 producers, and 2 twins. I like how he put the 2 twins on there.
Yeah, and actually we're split on the consoles. Like I'm doing the PS5, PS4 port. One of my colleagues is doing the Switch port, another is doing everything because he's like the director of programming. And Nix, I think, is fixing some bugs and putting some audio still. So, and that's it. That's the whole thing. We don't have any more people to make new features and stuff. So, well, the twins are polishing the scenery and working on the optimization of the game. So there goes the entire team. So if we needed to make a DLC, for example, I saw a comment that says DLC to set up the sequel will be awesome. If you want to make a DLC to set up the sequel, you have to first think what will be the sequel, maybe the grounding of the sequel,
Yep.
the basis, and then you can put like a middle story. So that's time that you still use making the sequel before the DLC. It's really complicated when you start thinking it through.
Yep. And again, that's more resources, more manpower. I mean, that's... Oh, man, as much as I want to see it, I do. But I also want to see the next game. So I'm not even sure what I would want. Personally, I'm not sure.
Yeah, sometimes waiting more is more rewarding.
Switch port, yes, Switch port is coming.
Switch port is coming, yes.
Oh my god, I'm almost done with
So,
this game.
please,
We might as well just say.
you can do it. You can do it.
I can do it?
Yeah. How much longer? Like 15 minutes?
I'm at the bunker, so I'm doing the gas puzzle. So I don't have that much left, really.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I have the YouTube and on my PC open.
Oh man. So what was the verdict on getting a map for this part? What's gonna happen with it? Are we getting a map?
I say to the twins that we should make a map, and they say yes, but their memory is very fragile. So they forgot things really easy. I told them that we should make a map for this section. I think it's planned for the. It will be one of the features for the last console.
Right.
Last gen console port. Definitely we want to make a little easier this part because it's a maze. And we want to make it a little easier for the. We know not everyone is a hardcore player, so yeah, a map maybe would be in the way for this part.
What's your favorite part of the game? So they're asking both of us. What's your favorite part of the game? Then I'll say what my favorite part is.
Like one room or one section completely?
I don't know. What's your favorite thing of the game? Maybe not just a specific part, but what's your favorite thing of the game?
I really like the mansion and the flow. As we talked before, the flow of the game. I really like it. And the mansion. I think it really feels creepy. The past, the version of the past of the mansion, I don't like it that much, but the present versions, I really enjoy it. I like how the rooms are. You can differentiate them really easily, one from another. How each one has their personality.
For me, I think my favorite part of this game is the structure, the pathing. So, like, you run through this game. The first time that you play it, you don't know where to go, so it's going to take you a little bit to play through the game. And then subsequent playthroughs, it's faster because you know where to go. And I've mentioned it before, and I'm always going to keep mentioning it because this is, for me, this is very important in these type of games, is the way that everything flows from one room to the next. All the puzzles, the solutions are in the same vicinity. They're in the same room or very close by it. And a lot of times they're so in your face that you don't even realize it, that the solution is right there in your face. You know, like I've done tutorial guides on my channel for the puzzle solutions, and a lot of the comments are people that they got stuck on that specific puzzle and they didn't realize how obvious the solution was, and until they actually saw, you know, in a video somebody pointing out, hey, this is the solution for this puzzle. Like I had somebody they got so upset, they left a comment that they were so upset on that on the operating table puzzle. They were like they're like, the solutions, I'm so upset at the devs, the solution's not, you know, not an obvious thing, it's not right in front of you. And I'm like, actually it's right in front of you the entire time, you just don't notice it. And that's what I love about this game, is that everything that's laid out in this game, including the puzzle solutions, it's right in front of your face. And it just makes the flow of the game that much better, and it makes the puzzles stand out that much more, because it's so obvious, but it's not obvious at the same time.
First, well, as I say, we iterated the game a lot. Actually, the priest that you see in the game at first was only going to be in the exam room, and we realized that well, the mansion felt a little empty. So the twins as a feature where the priest could be, and people, I think in the beta, didn't knew where to go next. So the priest was a good option to guide the players, to tell them where should they go next. Even if they didn't read the documents or that stuff. Of course, it's not the magic solution for the players, not to get lost. But yeah, if you realize that the puzzles are like concentrated on a little area, you should be fine, because sometimes I've seen people that for the ring, for example, the statue on the mausoleum, I saw a streamer that she said that she needed to get the ring, and she started to look in the ring, I think, for around the whole mansion.
Oh no!
And then she realized it was like, oh no, it wasn't a ring, it was the finger this whole time. So with I think maybe with the ritual that also happens, that sure, you know that the answer is right in your face, and you should just look a little closer, or step one step back.
Yeah, like me, where I overthink some of the puzzles, and you even told me you said you're overthinking it. And then the solution was right in front of my face once you told me that I was overthinking it. We're just gonna go for the bad ending today.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so that's what I love about the puzzles, because like it's, you know, it's so well done, man. Like you play like some of the old school Resident Evil games, and the puzzles are nice and everything, but they're more so like, okay, you push a block here to open up a path or whatever. You know, it's not anything that you have to actually think about. These puzzles you actually have to think about at least a little bit, and then if you overthink it, then you don't solve it either, because then it's just you're thinking beyond what the actual puzzle is supposed to be. And oh god, it's just so good. I can't get over the puzzle design. You guys, fantastic job with that.
Thank you. We put a lot of effort on them.
And
We have to test it a lot. Actually, there was a puzzle, the one for the register, where you have to put the numbers. At first, that was more like a riddle. So the twins made this. Have you seen this Facebook riddle when they put like 3 numbers and they say 0 plus 0 plus 1 equals 2, or 9 plus 9 plus 3 equals 2, and you don't know what to do?
Oh, that would have been a good one.
No. Actually, they did it. They put it like that, and no one knew how to solve that puzzle. I knew because I saw the puzzle on Facebook, and I knew the answer, but I told them that wasn't going to work, because the hint was think like a child, and you can't say that to an adult and make him think like a child. The answer was there, that you had to count the holes in the numbers. So 991, it's like 9 has 1 hole, the other 9 1 hole, so that equals 2. So that was we tested with some users. They realized that we were right, and that people didn't know how to solve the puzzle. So they changed it to the line stuff that's more readable for an adult.
See, I would have liked that though. I think that would have been a really fun idea to do.
We wanted to make all the puzzle that made sense, and that it would be like a thing that everyone will know how to approach it, and that kind of hint didn't, or puzzle didn't meet those conditions. So the idea was to the people to not to get maybe frustrated, but not that frustrated.
Right. Oh, I mean, I know that you mentioned you guys actually made the puzzles easier. How much easier are we talking about here?
I already told you, the bathroom on the first iterations took like 40 minutes. The people to go out.
Was that the only one that you guys actually changed, or did you change other ones too?
No, we changed a lot. Actually, the TV puzzle, I think that if you play the first version that we released, it's different. I know that you're going to play it, so I'm not going to spoil you anything. Let me think. I'm not sure if it was out on the first. No, I think it wasn't out on the first version.
When you say the first version, you're talking about the one that you guys sent out to reviewers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You put that or not? But do you have the first PlayStation? You have this version on PlayStation 5?
Yes, I do.
Played without the updates.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm gonna check that out then.
I think the TV puzzle is different there. So you tell me if that's easier or not.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Because now it has the leg, I mean the number stuff and that. Before that it was like no, I'm not going to hint you, but it was different.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
So yeah, we changed a lot of some of the puzzles. Actually, this one, the thing that spin, we added the other day. We upgrade. We made the range for the when you have to press the button. We did it a little bigger because a lot of people were pressing the button too soon and then failed a lot. And
Oh,
they
did
knew the
you?
answer already, but they were still failing, so we helped them a little. Well,
Oh.
the music puzzle that you struggle, the music box.
Right.
We've been fixing every of them, many of them.
Huh. Somebody was asking, was anything cut that you would have wanted to put in the final game that you guys had to cut out?
Lots of stuff. Maybe. Let me think a little. Section of the map. Actually, there when we first made the first versions of the mansion, when was still on paper, there was this idea when you finish the puzzle. You got to the mansion, went to the mausoleum, then to the bunker, and then there was going to be this exit from the from a cavern to go to an island where there was going to be a church, I think, where you will find the final boss. That had to be cut from the game. I think that's one of the biggest features that we cut.
Sven said, talk about charging the battery in the past. That was improved a lot. So many headaches in the time travel.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff, problems with the time travel stuff because we needed to decide some of the rules, how the time travel was going to work. If you change something in the past, change in the present. If you go to the present and get back to the past, the past stays the same or like advances the time with the present. It was like a kind of a nightmare. But I think that was the final decision that we took. It's like in parallel they advance at the same time. That's why the priest it's at the beginning, but if you go maybe later in the game, he's not there anymore.
See, I like
because when Caroline, we realized after the game launch, when Caroline knows that she's Ivan, then you can still go to the past. So you could say, why isn't she asking or confronting the priest if she already knows the truth? So we had to remove the priest from there.
See,
I'll send the Discord link. There's again.
You have a list?
A list of?
Oh no, I thought you said you had a list. Oh, the link of the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say something. I can't remember now. It's okay.
Good time.
If it comes to me, then fine. What's that?
Good time. I think I was blown the other day when I saw this guy that finished the game like in 58 minutes.
No. Did he really?
Yeah, I saw the whole
Oh
stream.
my god. See, my best time was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
No, this was insane. I just started to watch the stream and he did the bathroom like in 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
He entered the lag, and I don't know how he makes the movement with the click. It was like bah, 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 then the door and he was done with the bathroom. It was really amazing.
That's
and
crazy.
We discovered some exploits that he was using. For example, if you shot an enemy with the shotgun, like the big gun, like the big ones, then while you're shooting, you get to the menu, you recharge your weapon, and the bullet like hits again, so the enemy dies instantly. I don't know, stuff like that. Stuff that we never tried. Sometimes while he was doing a puzzle, the menu doesn't lock, so he uses that time to recharge the weapons or heal. That was insane.
Leave it to
Really,
speedrunners
really
to
it's another level.
yeah, leave it to the speedrunners to always find exploits in games. I mean, that's what they do. All of them. That's how they do it.
Yeah,
I
I wasn't even really mad because it was like stuff so rare to happen that I think that they're the only people that will take advantage of that, and I'm really fine with that.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that that's usually the speedrunners are the ones who find all the exploits. Like I'm just
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. It's actually funny to see how they do it.
yeah, like oh, who was it? Like the speedrunners who beat Zelda Ocarina of Time in like what was it, like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And I watched that and I'm like, my whole childhood is a lie because it took me days to beat that game and you guys beat in 10 minutes. So you're saying my 15 hours isn't a special achievement? Yes, it is. You beat the game. That's an achievement.
Yeah, you enjoy it at the rate that you want, like kind of like Ali. Sorry.
Oh my God, my friend Ali. for an
I'm
hour.
still waiting. I'm still waiting part 2 of out of 80 of her playthrough.
Oh, she was in the first corridor for an hour. That's what she does though. She takes a long time.
I was really I really like that she noticed every little detail of the game. Like she looked at the posters, she looked at the paintings, she looked at the machine, the photograph on and she looked everything. It was seeing with the game with other eyes because I don't rush the games, but also don't stop to look that detailed every part of the rooms.
Yeah, that's what she does though.
It was really slow, but I like it anyway.
It's funny she does that because she thinks that every little thing is important for like what's gonna happen or like if she needs to solve a puzzle or something like that. That's why she does it.
Yeah. No, I really like how she plays. So best for her.
All right. Well, that's gonna be it for the night. Maxi, I appreciate you being here. It really means a lot. And Sven,
thanks again for inviting me. It was really funny.
Sven, thank you for hanging out with us too. And everybody else who joined in. If you haven't played Tormented Souls, you haven't bought it yet. If you liked what you saw, you liked hanging out with us tonight, it's $20 on Steam. I don't know how much is it on PlayStation Store? Is it still $20 or is it?
Yeah, it's 20 unless you want to the physical version. It's $40, I think. Or
Okay.
it depends on your territory. I think 30 euros or $40 because of the distribution and production cost. It could be cheaper, but
Yeah.
it's still a good price for an indie game. So if you can do it, if you like the game, please buy it because it really helps us.
How much is a Switch port? I think it's gonna be same thing, right? Digital be 20 and then
Yeah, we will keep the prices on our platforms the same.
Yeah, so there you go. Honestly, I would get the physical copy just because they seem to be a little rarer, but that's just me. Because I collect games, so I have to have my physical copies. I put your game right up there on my Resident Evil shelf. You can't see it, but it's right up there on my Resident Evil shelf. It's right next to the Steelbook for Resident Evil Village.
Nice.
But everybody, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Max, once again, thank you. Sven, thank you.
Sure, whenever you want. I have lots of fun talking about. I love talking about games and game development and everything on the industry. So if you want another chat or whatever, I'm up to it.
Yeah, no problem. If you guys haven't reached out yet to the guys over at Residents of Evil, reach out to them. They love doing interviews with developers too.
Yeah, sure. We're getting some interviews. I think tomorrow we have an interview from a German magazine, local people also talking with us. The other day, I think I sent you a link. I don't know if you watched it because when Sven talked to the twins about the development.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw it. That's why you sent it. I was like, oh, I beat the game. Only physical stuff, you know, like melee with the crowbar, and all I get is this link.
Yeah, Sven, we have in Abstract Digital. Sven started a Twitch channel, so he's doing interview with the whole team. The other day was I with Tomas, who is the director of programming, and me. Yesterday it was with Felipe, who is the producer of the game. I think the twins are coming next. I'm not sure. Oh no, they already were. Well, maybe there'll be a game, but if you're interested, I'll give you the link to Twitch. If anyone wants to know more about the team, I'll give you the link right now, right there.
I see. I don't know if it's gonna post the link because it doesn't. Unless you're a mod in the chat, it doesn't let you post the links.
Okay. I'll send it to you through
Twitter,
and you.
Yeah, that's fine. Send it to me through Twitter, and I'll post it in my Discord.
There it is.
All right, but we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's midnight, and usually I'm still up by this time, but I'm very, very tired.
Sure.
But Max, once again, this meant so much to me to you know that you hang out here. So I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks again to you. Yeah.
And everybody, yeah, everybody have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for watching us.
Max, thank you. Appreciate it very, very much.